Hey guys, today I want to share with you guys my healing journey, my battle with irregular menstrual cycle. So it started when I was about 12, 13. Just like any regular girl, having your menstrual cycle, something new to look forward to. So for me, right off the bat, like I've never had a regular cycle. I went months, literally months without seeing my cycle. So when I was 13, 14, I personally wasn't complaining because everyone is talking about they're having it every month, and I'm having it like every 3 months, every 4 months. Then it went to like every 6 months. So I was pretty fine. Like it didn't affect my day to day life. So I didn't really care that much. So, but my mom was like, no, we got to get this checked out because that's not normal for you to have missing cycles like that. And when I do, when I am on my cycle, it was just very heavy. I bled a lot. So I was like, okay. So we went, got it checked out. And at this time, I'm about going on 16. And the doctors, they said the best thing for me to get a regular cycle is to put me on birth control. So I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Didn't really mind it. Just I started birth control at age 16. So it was fine for the first couple of years or so. But n- at like, not couple, well, it was fine for like until I was like 17, 18. I start getting really bad hormonal problems. My hormones were out of whack. Mood swings like crazy. So I was just not feeling how terrible I was feeling on the birth control. So I really wanted to get off. So I just stopped. And prior to me even stopping, I'll just say this part. So going to doctors, they were like, you won't, since I don't have a regular cycle, I more than likely will never have kids. So I was like, great, because I didn't want any. But anyway, so I stopped using birth control because the mood swings, how bad I used to feel. I was very suicidal. I was depressed. I was so angry. Ah, man, it was bad. So I got off of it. Now, my period returned not regular, but really heavy. So it still wasn't every month. I remember still going like 3 months, sometimes 6 months, and stuff like that. It was very sporadic. So I really didn't have like a track of when it would actually come. So it was always a surprise when it did. And it wasn't really a surprise when I didn't have it for a long time. So anyway, so now I'm about 18, 19 at this time when I was just, having kind of not regular but cycles. So I'm in the university at this time, and I realized that my cycle was coming so heavy, so much. I bled like so much that I was in class one day, and it just don't give no warning signs. It's not like, oh, I know it's gonna happen like the first or second day of my cycle, then I'm just gonna bleed a whole lot. So I'm gonna like stay home wherever. No, there was no pattern in this. So when it came, when I bled, so like drench my clothes just out of nowhere. And so I was in class one day, and it was so embarrassing. I had to get up and walk out the class and make that embarrassing trek to the car. And so it was just so hard for me to go back to school, but I did. Then, a few months later, I got my period again. And then the same thing happened. And this time I wasn't in class. I just came out of class at that time. So I'm walking outside of class where everyone is walking. And then it happened again. Drench. So, I mean, so much. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So it caused me to not go back to like school. And I just went to school online because I did not want to be around anyone and just experience that. It was so embarrassing. It was so hard to face myself. So fast forward. So literally every time I had my period, I literally stayed home because I knew I was like, I do not want this embarrassment anymore. So now, couple years now, just like couple years after this incident, I changed my diet. And when I didn't think anything of it. Like, listen, I was not changing my diet for any particular like health reason or for that particular thing. I was changing it because I really wanted to eat healthier, and I thought it was like really the best thing for my life. So, I changed my diet and cut out sweets and meats and all kinds of stuff, cheese, and then I just like one day just dawned on me like, whoa, I'm not having this problem anymore. Now, this problem was not happening like every single time I had my cycles after that event. It was very sporadic, but it would happen like at least every year, definitely it would happen, but it was sporadic. It wasn't like every single time. And again, I wasn't even having it periods often anyway. So, but it would come. So when I changed my diet, I realized that like, whoa, my periods are actually way better. And they're not consistent yet, but the heavy bleeding was gone. And I was like, man, this just that one simple change of just my diet actually rid of the heavy bleeding. So that was such a blessing. I was so thankful. And I started really taking note of the reality of how, how it's going. And even in this, remember the doctor saying that like I can't have any kids because of my irregular cycles. Well, my cycles never got regular. Um, and I have 4 kids. So yeah. And then throughout that all 4 of them, I didn't really see us. I mean, like one time in those 6 years of having kids did I see my cycle. So yeah. But fast forward now, after having all the kids, um now is the time when I can really see how my cycle is, because prior to that I really wasn't having a regular cycle, but it wasn't really I wasn't bleeding like that for and so now fast forward to years after, I just really saw how God really helped me with that. And now I have a regular cycle, and the bleeding, it's completely gone from like heavy, extreme bleeding. Now, I did have a couple episodes in my time, and when I realized like why this was happening, nip it in the butt with better lifestyle health changes, and truly seen the tremendous difference in my menstrual cycle, like tremendous difference. And I can only attribute that to God's grace and his healing herbs and like fruits, nuts, grains, vegetables, like intaking more of those um really helped. And so I just wanted to share that, like, really truly, when you see like things are going on in your life, in your body, that is not working right, start with what you eat and just seek God through it. So I just wanted to share with you all. I know you ladies out there, we all may have like some type of struggle, or we have known someone that has some struggle in this area. It may not be to the severity of bleeding so much, but it may be like cramps and like very uncomfortable menstruals, or just bleeding heavy, but not to the extent like that. But all of that I've experienced, and all that has been rid because of the lifestyle changes I have made in my life. And so I'm just thankful that God has blessed, because truly I was to the point where like I don't know how I'll be going out if this is happening. And when I saw that it was coming back, and the years of not having that, and then twice it actually came, like I had really heavy bleeding. I was like, Lord, like this is a lot, because I will be out. If I'm out somewhere and that happens, it has no warning, literally no warning. So, but God has been so gracious. So it's really shown, like, help me to pinpoint what it would be that I would have to change so that I can actually be rid of that once and for all and not have to bleed like that anymore. So I just wanted to share with you guys. I'm just so grateful to God. He is so merciful and compassionate to us when we least deserve it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and I pray to see you again in my next testimony. God bless you all.